And welcome back, guys, to the ESL Legendary Series. I am Doan. With me is Nimsh and Ecop again, and we are down to our final semi-final match. It's going to be Amaz versus Nalguidan. $30,000 prize pool, man, on the line. We've got 230 World Championship points to give away to our top players as well, too. A lot on the line. Amaz versus Nalguidan. I feel like a lot of people are going to give Amaz the edge. Do you agree with that? What do you think?
I definitely agree with this. Amaz is, as we mentioned, a reigning champion from IEM Shenzhen, coming here into this tournament, going for the round of 16 with single elimination, advancing into top 8, going through top 8, now in top 4, and you know, one more win, one more match win, and he's in the final again.
Yeah, be pretty insane. And of course, Orange, we just saw him get to the finals, looking extremely strong. I mean, depending on who we see get there, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to have a recurring theme of qualifier versus invited player, we definitely want to see Amaz win, right? So
True.
We like the king of qualifiers, Orange, versus like the most established and well-known player, who is Amaz. Those two face off against each other. That would be an amazing match. But obviously, Nalguidan wants to stop Amaz in his tracks and just show that he deserves to be in the finals instead.
On the other hand, Nalguidan mentioned that his decks were specifically built to counter Life Coach. He really wanted to win the first match in this tournament, which he did. But now he's going to face Amaz, which has a very different lineup. So we will. It's really interesting to see how this anti-Life Coach decks will fare against Amaz.
That's true. Well, let's take a look at our class list yet again. Amaz brought Warrior, Priest, and Mage today. Nalguidan brings Rogue, Hunter, and Paladin. So again, like you just mentioned, Nips, Nalguidan says, I just planned on beating Life Coach. That's what I wanted to come here and do. Do you think this class list is going to be something decent against Amaz?
Well, let's analyze it one by one. So his Hunter list was it a mid-range Hunter or was it a face Hunter?
I believe it was more mid-range.
I think it was more mid-range.
Yeah.
The mid-range Hunter is alright versus Warrior, versus Priest, and versus Mage, it can get awkward. It really depends on the start.
Right.
But it's a good list. And then Paladin is good versus Warrior. So Mage depends, versus Priest depends. And I think he has a fair chance.
I'm pretty sure that Amaz is still favored in this matchup. However, Nalguidan will definitely not be as much of a pushover matchup-wise as Sir Christian was for Amaz. So Amaz will definitely have a hard time taking this win.
Well, we have Warrior versus Rogue in our first match. Amaz bringing out the Warrior, Nalguidan on that Rogue. And of course, we've seen a lot of the oil Rogue. We saw Orange try something a bit different with the double gadgets and Auctioneer. But, you know, generally, you see this kind of go back and forth, right? Right now in this meta, with these two decks, who do you want to give the edge to? Ooh, with that starting hand, I don't know. I feel like Nalguidan's looking better already.
With that starting hand, it's pretty easy to give an edge to Nalguidan.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Also, it's interesting because Amaz is running the more standard version of Warrior deck with big bombs like Alexstrasza, Ragnaros, Gaddon, and no bomb lobbers. And Orange just mentioned that he was specifically playing bomb lobbers to counter Rogue.
True.
So if Rogue is able to play those early minions, which he actually doesn't have, there are no free mana minions in his hand, so this he just weapons up now.
It's going to be a little bit awkward. Yeah, there's a hero power weapon for Nalguidan, and actually doing a damage just to chip away at that armor, making sure that Warrior doesn't get that kind of critical mass of armor that Rogue can't quite overcome.
Well, for Amaz, he has Acolyte of Pain, so that's not a bad turn. He still has something to do. He has the Taskmaster, he has the Whirlwind, so if he really needs to, he will be able to draw some cards, and Rogue is giving him time because Nalguidan, well, he can coin out the Piloted Shredder if he wants to.
True.
But then on turn 4, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, is he doesn't really have a clean answer for this Acolyte of Pain. I mean, how would you handle this Ecop? Would you try to would you give him 2 draws, or would you just play the Piloted Shredder?
I would probably just not play anything, just chip away at the armor and then hope that this Acolyte just stays untouched, so you can coin out the Ezra Drake and backstab this, so he only gets 1 draw of it and the backstab gets additional value. However, we will most likely see the Taskmaster right now to ensure that he will get additional value out of the Acolyte, and also makes the Acolyte now invulnerable to backstab.
Yep,
yeah,
true enough.
Nalguidan is definitely not happy about it, and even also this Acolyte is going to deal 3 points of damage, setting some kind of board that will help Amaz transition into the bigger minions.
This is a really good draw right now. Perfect to deal with this damaged Acolyte of Pain, which Backstab could not do that before. SI7 clearing the board, putting a minion on the board for Nalguidan, and now Nalguidan all of a sudden looks in fairly good shape.
So we are entering mid-game, turn 5 for Warrior. Well, Nalguidan is still thinking if he wants to play an attack. Do we extend with the 2-1, or do we keep it?
I think you probably hold it for now, don't you? Looks like he did. All right, Shield Maiden is the draw for Amaz. He's going to go ahead and drop that Sludge Belcher. Things starting to get a little bit more in control.
Wow, this game is going in a really weird direction, because Amaz had a very bad starting hand with all those bombs, but he was able to stay firm, and Nalguidan, without those free drops, wasn't able to put enough pressure. So right now, Nalguidan is the one facing a very difficult situation.
Yeah. Nalguidan with an exceptionally slow beginning. He has to use that sap on the Sludge Belcher. Drops that Piloted Shredder, so a decent board out right now.
Yeah, he's just trying to extend the board, but then again, sapping Sludge Belcher means the Sludge Bush is going to get back. Yeah. And Nalguidan has to think that I will be able to deal with it easier next turn, maybe with the Azure Drake and a Saucy Death Hand as well, and using the backstab.
So what's going to be the play here? I mean, you could play that Shield Maiden on curve, get a little bit of armor, have a 5/5 to deal with, but there are some other options too. Got that Fiery War Axe draw. He's just going to drop the Shield Maiden, though, it looks like.
Yeah, using most of his mana crystals to the most efficiency. This sets up a nice play for turn 7 as well. He can replay the Sludge Belcher and follow it up with a Fiery War Axe.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we can see the backstab and a Saucy Deck and possibly, or maybe Deadly Poison.
I do like the South Sea Deckhand, because then you don't have to damage any of the creatures you've got on the board. Looks like he's going to do Deadly Poison at 27 health, now 22. He's got a little bit of life to play with, I suppose.
I like this Deadly Poison play simply because you want to keep the South Sea Deckhand around for potential comboed Tinker's Sharp Soda Oil. And also, you can take the damage. You are not afraid at 27 health to get bursted down by the Warrior.
Oh, this list for Amaz is really kind of an older classic Warrior list. He's running the Brawl, he's running the Baron Geddon, Alex Strasza.
BGH.
Yeah, double BGH too. That's something I don't think I've seen in a little while.
Yeah, it's like, the last time I've seen double BGH, I think, was from Amaz. I don't remember which tournament was that, but he's definitely targeting bigger decks with this.
Yeah. Makes it a bit more awkward against one like this, but he certainly seems to be holding his own so far. Oh man,
a 3/2.
Fairy Dragon. That is a little bit of a rough one to see. I think it is a Brawl turn. Yep, he will go ahead and do that. Let's see what comes out. Oh, it's the 4/4.
That's really unfortunate for Amaz. The biggest and the best minion survives. And there is a Tinker's Oil. How much damage is it?
It could be a lot, especially if he plays that South Sea Deckhand to guarantee that the damage he'll be able to use immediately. We'll see if he goes ahead and does that. Nope, just Azure Drake.
Pretty sure he wants to have a fresh weapon for that Tinker's Sharp Oil.
Yeah, mostly.
So he's going to attack with the Deadly Poisoned weapon, just refreshing his weapon, get a new one, so he can make maximum amount of damage with its Sharp Sword Oil.
Also, getting those Blade Flurry is important, because he will be able to use the second charge on the weapon, just using the Blade Flurry right there.
Very true.
All right, so back to Amaz. He is staring at those 2 Azure Drakes. I normally feel really bad staring at one. If I stare at 2, I'm sweating.
Wow, that's a lot of damage on the board. And that's also 2 minions that are very difficult for Warrior to deal with cleanly. Dropping that Sludge Belcher along with the Armor Smith will buy him some time. And he's going to go ahead and Whirlwind, wow, to just get rid of that. Games himself a couple armor as well, but it's a little bit of an awkward situation to be in.
Is this enough damage? That's the question. There is some armor coming from Amaz. Oh, Eviscerate might actually change it. So going with the deckhand, there is still 7 mana left. There is the Tinker's Oil.
Yep, that would leave you with 3 then.
You can attack, depending on what gets the oil. You can actually attack Belcher, I think, with the weapon attack.
Yep.
To kill it for 4. Then how much mana do you have? That's 5, 7. So you can still flurry.
Yeah, you don't have enough to eviscerate though, too. So
that's 14, 17 points of damage. You deal 5 to face, and then 7. That's 12, 14.
It's definitely not enough.
Yeah, it's 1 damage default, I feel.
Well, not with all this armor being gained as well, too. That's going to hold things off a little bit. And yeah, it'll be 7 damage in to the face, so 5 remaining.
And also the deckhand cannot attack because the weapon is gone.
Oh man, you're right.
Well, but there is an Eviscerate in SI7, so it puts Warrior in a very weird spot.
Yeah.
Alexstrasza can top up to 15.
Yeah. Big Game Hunter, though, can take out the Azure Drake as well, but if you do that, no Alexstrasza. So Amaz just counting on not a lot of damage being in his opponent's hand right now. I don't know if you can count on that, though. He'll be up to 7 health. And that...
7 is not enough.
I don't believe, yeah, you're right, is not enough.
With 7, that's... well, actually...
Let's see, I mean, because does he have an activator for
it's exactly
SI7
7.
agent?
He has the hero power,
Yeah,
though.
he has the hero power, so that's
you're right.
exactly 7 points of damage. Whatever is getting activated is good for him.
Yep, there we go. So 5 more points from the hand, SI7 agent. There's the Eviscerate for 4, and he's got that hero power, making himself a weapon to finish off. And Nalguidan manages to take the first game from Amaz, that warrior deck. Not working out quite yet. Nalguidan, he took down Life Coach, and now he's in the lead over Amaz.
That was a very tight game, and
yeah,
really well played by Nalguidan. Doing the correct plays, going with the deadly poison, attacking into that Shield Maiden, clearing the board, extending the advantage. But on the other hand, Amaz seemed to have a bad hand. But even though he was able to recover, still Nalguidan was the one who pushed and took the win.
Yeah, it just shows you, I mean, this oil rogue is so devastating against nearly everything right now. It's out of the way, though. Amaz doesn't have to worry about it anymore, at least. This is Conquest format. So can Nalguidan get 2 more wins, send himself to the finals, or can Amaz tie things up, start bringing it back? When we come back, guys, we'll see Game 2, find out if that happens. Don't go anywhere. ESL Legendary Series will be right back. Welcome back, guys, to the ESL Legendary Series. I am Doa here with Nimsh and Ekop, and we are watching a match between Nalguidan and Amaz. Nalguidan is up 1 game. Amaz not quite able to win that first game with his warrior. He's still got it available. Now, only Paladin and Hunter remain for Nalguidan. Knowing what these 2 players have coming into this, what classes do you think we're going to see?
Well, the thing is, like, it was really important win for Nalguidan. Because Rogue, I think, was the best matchup for the Warrior. Paladin is very good versus Warrior.
Yeah.
And then Hunter, mid-range Hunter, seems to be also very good versus Warrior. So if Amaz really needs to win with that Warrior. If he doesn't, then Warrior might possibly be his demise in this tournament.
Well, he's going to give it a bit of a break right now. Looks like Priest versus Paladin will be our second game. And in this matchup, you know, it generally seems like Paladin, if it's a slower Paladin, has the edge. Do you agree? I mean, having seen Amaz's Priest, who do you think has the edge here?
It all depends on how many control cards the Paladin runs, because if the more aggressive the Paladin is, the easier it is for the Priest to handle it and eventually just take the game from there. If Nalguidan just run like double lay on hands or stuff like that, plus a lot of legendaries, then Amaz will have a harder time dealing with everything that Paladin can put on the board.
Well, here we go, guys. Amaz versus Nalguidan, game number 2. Priest versus Paladin. That Dark Cultist, always nice to see in your opening hand for Amaz.
I think overall Priest has an advantage in this matchup. If you're able to develop, with Zombie Chow specifically, Dark Cultist, if you're able to play keep Paladin's board in check, you're just getting to those bigger turns. You have Pyromancers, you have a lot of removal. So you're putting yourself in a good spot to play your bombs while clearing the bombs from the opposing side, and then eventually win with cards like Mind Control.
Well, will be that first turn Zombie Chow, so getting a little bit of board control early on, making the dudes a little bit less effective. Ooh, but Shielded Minibot.
Oh yeah, he definitely needed that card. Without Shielded Minibot, his hand was terrible. But with Shielded Minibot, it gets a bit better. There is this Cockhammer, which is going to buff it if it survives.
I think it just might.
Yeah, it seems like Amaz can't really deal with the Shielded Minibot. It's so annoying, he just took the shield and then the shield is back.
I know, it's going to come right back with this Cockhammer. Yeah.
Second Pilot Shredder is good as well. Right now, Nalguidan, even though his hand looked terrible, no minion on turn 2, just the Cockhammer, he will be able to kill the Zombie Chow and, well, even heal himself and then continue with 2 Piloted Shredders, 2 consecutive Piloted Shredders.
Yeah, no kidding. And having a 2-2 taunt on the board is nothing to really be upset about either. Another Zombie Chow comes in for Amaz. He's also got the option of that Dark Cultist. He could actually play both.
Yeah, playing both is definitely important because you don't want to waste the Dark Cultist the Dark Cultist Death Rattle.
Ooh.
However, he chooses to save the Dark Cultist for now. I mean, not basically not saving the Dark Cultist, more likely to save the coin for Dr. Boom or for Mind Control.
That certainly could be. First piloted Shredder hits the board for Nalguidan, and he's just going to go ahead and take out that second Zombie Chow, not even wanting to deal with that.
Yeah, for now it definitely looks good for Nalguidan. He was the one playing minions, he was the one extending the lead. He doesn't have that many cards, but the Lothep was another card that can follow up after the Pilot Shredder, unless he decides to play Lothep on 5 and try to lock the Priest, especially with that coin and some spells in Amaz's hand.
Right, well it's going to be Dark Cultist. Turn over Nalguidan again, and do you think we're going to see that second piloted Shredder, or possibly the Lothep this time around? Could also, well, I guess you don't really need to silence the Ironbeak Owl, do you, if you're going to kill it?
I like attacking with your Shredder into the 3-4. You don't want to wait till the Priest develops another minion and gets the buff.
Very true.
And you're still getting a minion out of your minions. So just deny the Defral and use your own Defral. And then, depending on what minion you have, just follow up with the Lothep. This is also a possible play. It only sets up a better play on turn 6. You will have the minion, you will be able to trade into something. You keep your Piloted Shredder, which is a 4-attack minion that we know is hard to deal with when you're a Priest.
Yeah, you pretty much just had to deal with the Dark Cultist right now, and the True Silver does it in the best way possible because you keep the weapon on the board to deal with any other threat that Amaz can play right now.
Knife Juggler. Interesting draw. That Equality as well could come in handy later on for Amaz.
Oh yeah, certainly. Equality with Pyromancer gives Amaz an unexpected board clear out of nowhere.
That's true.
So this is a very good pickup, and Juggler can also be used if you get enough minions. If Amaz has another Thought Steal, maybe he will get Master for Battle.
Maybe. That's always good with Knife Juggler, but it's just not something you see from Priest a lot. Yeah,
definitely. Knife Juggler, Equality, Master for Battle from Priest. I like it.
The Knife Juggler is actually pretty good to play right now because it threatens to kill the Pilot Shredder, and it's also a minion that you prefer to lose to the True Silver rather than something bigger, like a 4-drop or 5-drop.
True.
Well, on the other hand, Nalguidan, he has 6 mana, so he will be able to just kill the Juggler, go for face, and play Shredder, and get a token as well. And that Quartermaster.
Having 2 piloted Shredders out is so scary for pretty much any deck.
Oh yeah, especially for the Priest. Like, at some point, Priest was able to counter them because Priest did play the Shrinkmeister, reduce the attack, steal it with Cabal Shadow Priest or Shadow Madness, but I don't think Amaz is actually running those cards in his deck.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Okanai. He will be able to clear with
Light of the Naru.
With Naru and the Circle, and wow, this turn might be amazing.
Yeah, let's see what Amaz comes up with. Scratching his head right now, wants to make sure he plays this one perfectly.
He even has a coin. So he will be able to basically play the Alkanai. Well, it really depends, like, because you don't want to lose the Light Warden.
Well, Circle of Healing. Shielded Minibob, and Nat Pagel. What is this?
Light of the Naru actually cannot kill anything, neither does the hero power.
Dude, these piloted Shredders have been insane today.
Oh yeah.
Alright, let's see if Pagel can draw.
Can you fish all day?
No.
No,
no fish for you.
No. Didn't get one.
It's really cool to see Nat Pagel back in competitive play.
That's right, he's back in the meta again. It's just he has to randomly come out of another card. But hey, he's back. He's back.
Definitely.
We'll take it.
He is fishing and he is golden.
That's right. Golden Nat Pagel. Well, they said he always drew, but he didn't that time.
That was the old one.
That was the old. That was the pre-nerf Matt Tag.
Yeah.
I was actually using Nat Pagel and winning with it in the last final year ago.
Really?
I think I had like 8 draws out of 10.
Wow. Was he golden?
Yes.
Well, there you go. There's the scientific explanation right there.
Well, Nalguidan seems to be in trouble. Double Equality is not doing much. Nat Pagel is definitely not going to attack into anything.
No.
He can't even deal with this Organized Soul Priest, which is very annoying because the hero power doing 2 damage for 2 mana is great. It's better than Mage hero power.
I mean, I suppose technically he could silence it, deal with it that way, but it still doesn't get the 3-1 off the board. That's the problem.
And Light Warden, if kept unattended, might be very big and deal a lot of damage as well.
Oh, that's true. If you kill or if you silence the Shadow Priest, then you suddenly open up the Light Warden to, you know, get a lot more attack too. And he's going to go ahead and silence it anyway.
He wanted to prevent the hero power plus the 3-1 finishing off the Loatheb in this situation. That's why he had to silence the Alchemy here.
And here comes Dr. Boom, and goodbye, Nat Pagel. It's been fun.
No
See
more
you in another
fish.
few months.
Sylvanas is a great card because without Sylvanas, this hand looked terrible.
Yeah.
Getting Consecration will be even better. So right now, Nalguidan in trouble.
Interesting to note as well is that Nalguidan plays double equality, which almost actually no one does anymore.
Yeah.
Except for like the really hardcore control paladins who also play Pyromancer.
Yeah, we've seen James not even playing a single one, I think.
Yep, I think that's true. That's what we were guessing anyway. So a dude.
All right, this game is not over yet. Both players have a lot of health and boards are big, but on the other hand, Amaz has a lot of ways to draw cards where Nalguidan has none.
A Priest versus Paladin, too, is one of those matches that seems like no matter what the deck is, always has a pretty good chance of hitting fatigue, huh? I don't know if we're going to get there this time, but it's definitely going to be one of our longer games.
Yeah, it's one of those games of Hearthstone where you really have to focus because there's a lot of elements. There are board swipes. We see equality, consecration. We see Alkanized Soul Priest with Silk of Healing. Draw is really important because it's a control versus control at this moment. Trading. It's like all the things you have to know about Hearthstone are tested in this matchup.
So, Dr. Boom gonna run in, do a little bit of damage, 2 North Shard Clerics, and there's a heal, so Amaz gonna be able to do a lot of drawing off of this one. There's Vol'jin, not enough mana to use it right now, and not really the board to use it on either.
I also like limiting the toughness of Dr. Boom, preparing it for Sylvanas.
Yeah.
Oh, 4 damage to face. It's always good. Like, it doesn't matter that much right now, but it's always good.
It's always fun to see. You know, I wonder too if he's able to keep Sylvanas alive long enough. Is that a good mind control target, or do you want to just save it for Tyrion Fordring? Or Rag, maybe, too?
You definitely want the mind control for Tyrion, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think you'd want to hold on
I also like how Amaz did not play the Dark Cultist there, just to decrease, just to not give Sylvanas a potential to even steal it.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense. So,
well, Nalguidan takes Master for Battle, which makes him a happy man because right now he can play free freeze. But on the other hand, there is that Pyromancer with equality, so whatever happens, Amaz can always clear the board.
True. Now,
interesting that he attacked first.
I was gonna say, do you maybe want to use the Quartermaster first to give your guys less of a chance of getting killed by the boom bots?
How much damage was there? I missed it. Was there?
I think it was like 4, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I might have been wrong, but it seemed like it would have mattered anyway.
Yeah, I think this was a slight misplay.
Yeah, either way, you definitely don't want to attack until you play the Quartermaster, just in case.
Well, it's getting late, and this is the semi-final of a very important tournament, and those players are playing for... There is a lot of money on the line, and the World Championships points, and those points matter as well, because if you get far in the tournament, you will be one of the top players to get invited to World Championships at this moment, at least.
Yep, that's true. There's the equality, there's a Pyromancer doing its thing. And it is going to be a board clear, then the Dark Cultist going down for Amaz.
Well, it seems that Nalguidan's only option right now is equality the hero.
Hey, look who it is.
That Tyrion is got mind control.
I think you will. You got to play it right. There's the dude as well, but Amaz is going to be pretty happy. I think this is a pretty obvious turn and right on curve too, right?
Oh, yes, certainly.
No, Shadow or Death instead.
And then Hearthstone Jones. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Well played by Nalguidan. He wants to see the card, and he's probably going to concede very soon.
Antique heal bot. He still has those 2 equalities, but again, with all the damage from the weapon that he's going to be giving Amaz, it just seems really hard to see a way that he could come back and take this one.
Even with Consecration, that would be tough. Like, you get Consecration now, you have to attack Tyrion. You equality Consecration, but there is still the Ashbringer for the Priest.
Yep.
Priest with an Ashbringer.
Hey man, we've seen a lot of weird stuff today. I'm at this point, I'm just like not surprised anymore. I'm like, Maloran for Mage, sure, why not? Just
yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
I still enjoy the Mechatork having an appearance.
Yeah, that's true. Geblin Mechatork, we've seen Matt Pagel today. We've had a lot of guest stars in the games, haven't we?
The Leper Gnome guy, how's it called? The Thermoplug, sorry.
Oh, making a Thermoplug, that's right, yeah.
Come on, Gnimsh, I thought you know your Leper Gnome lore better than that.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit tired as well. All right, so here is a very good situation for Amaz. He has the Tyrion, he has minions. He's really close to finishing this game.
There's a mind control tech. If Amaz plays a couple minions, maybe it's a way to steal Tyrion back, bring him back to the light, but I don't think there's going to be a chance of that. There goes a weapon onto Amaz. If Harrison shows up, maybe he could turn around, but that's 12 health right now in Nalguidan. It's not looking too great.
Well, at least he cleared the board. There is this Ashbringer, but he is still alive.
That's true.
And,
oh, hi, Lotheb.
Well, Lotheb is going to seal a possible... I think Lotheb seals it.
Yeah, I mean, there's Velen's chosen as well, too, so anything he plays, he can kind of buff out of the range of Paladin's ability to deal with it, except for there's a second equality. But in order for that to work, I have to kind of handle that. Amaz kind of weighing his options here. He's like, all right, do you go for face? Do you try to just end it here, or do you leave the minions out? When you're playing control versus control, you're always a little bit worried about giving them any sort of board presence, I suppose, but I think this is an okay play. This is reasonable.
Yeah, I like it. You don't have to really rush it. You can even kill the minion now. You can go for face, you can kill the minion. It doesn't matter at this point. But I still like just killing the minion, setting yourself up for a kill next turn.
Yeah, better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah, exactly. And after Lotheb, you know that there is no possibility of equality consecration. You are basically super safe, and only Lay on Hands would be a card that will put Nalguidan outside of range, but he doesn't have it, so he concedes there.
That is it.
And he doesn't have the 13 mana to cast it.
Oh, unfortunately.
Lotheb, yes, obviously.
So Amaz takes game 2. We have a tie series on our hands. Again, both of these players trying their hardest to get to the finals, to face Orange. I like it. Tie series, man.
Yeah,
it's fun stuff.
We definitely want to see series going to best, like to the 5th game, and seeing, you know, those backs battle, and it's really good for the Conquest format. Like you don't see that many free outs. We've seen a couple, but mostly it comes to the 5th game.
Well, it's rare, of course, because you have the players kind of picking different decks every time usually, and so you get so much more variety in terms of matches. It really does make things a bit more exciting. Well, guys, it is time for another quick break, but when we come back, we will see if either Amaz or Nalguidan is able to take the lead in this best of 5 and get themselves one step closer to the finals here at the ESL Legendary Series. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back, guys, to the ESL Legendary Series. I'm Doa again, here with Gnimsh and Ekop, and we are all tied up. Amaz versus Nalguidan. And so Amaz coming back, getting the win with the Priest. It's gone. He can't rely on it anymore. The remaining decks, Warrior and Mage for Amaz, Hunter and Paladin still for Nalguidan. So, I don't know. What do you think we're going to see?
Well, as we mentioned before, the Warrior deck is tricky. Like, Amaz needs to win with it, and he doesn't really have a great matchup. It might be good that Paladin is out of the way, because then he won't have to face Paladin with a Warrior, giving Paladin a win. But wait, Paladin is not out of the way. The Priest is out of the way. So Paladin
Priest is out of the way.
Yep.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. Well, all right.
Let's forget about it. Let's just see what they pick. Okay, sure, Mage versus Hunter.
Mage was the clear-cut pick because Mage has the higher chance of winning against both those decks than Warrior would. Warrior might be a little bit more favored against the Hunter than the Mage would be. But I guess against the mid-range Hunter, Warrior can also struggle. So definitely Mage is the stronger pick here. It has the higher chance of winning that game. And then Amaz, if he wins with a Mage, will have just has to win 1 out of 2 games in order to advance to the finals.
Yep, very true. Whoever takes this one is going to put themselves 1 game away from the grand finals, a match against Orange for a $13,000 first place prize, as well as 100 points towards the World Championships later this year. We're into the game now. Amaz on the Mage, Nalguidan on that Hunter.
Well, normally Mage has an advantage in this matchup because you start really early with a Cogmaster, then you get into Chuggers, and you extend a good position there. But there's certain cards that Hunter can get that will help to win the game. Those cards are in Nalguidan's hand. Juggler, Unleash the Hounds. Getting Eagle Hornbow is also great because you want to stop Mage from extending their board early. You want to shut down all the mechs before they build up a board that you can't deal with. And Nalguidan right now, he might be able to stop it. I'm not sure about, like, he won't be able to play Juggler on empty, but then Unleash the Hounds will be very helpful. Getting something like Hunter's Mark will be amazing as well.
Well, Maz certainly has a strong start here, man. Clockwork Gnome, Snow Chugger. It's some pretty terrifying stuff if you're going up against a Mech Mage. Leper Gnome, the only minion in his hand that's on curve right now. He does have that coin, but I suppose you kind of need to wait until the next turn. You just hero power now and save it for maybe turn 3 piloted Shredder.
Yeah, it is so painful, but
it is
most likely what you have to do. The Juggler plus Unleash is still your best bet to just get back in the game after Mech Mage hopefully overextends a lot.
I think what you can do, well, here I think you just hero power, but then you might think about using Unleash the Hounds next turn to trade, to put minions in range of a coin Juggler into Unleash. He actually decides to play the Juggler here into this one.
I definitely disagree with that play, simply because now the Mech Mage has one less minion, and it is a minion that dies to one Hound already, or one Juggle.
Yep.
So I definitely would have saved the Juggler for now.
Yeah, it is not going to be there.
Because what is Nalguidan gonna do right now? There's like no clear-cut play, which is perfect in this situation. I guess the Shredder is fine, but I doubt it will pull any attention from the Mech Mage's minions at the moment.
Yeah, this is the situation that you definitely don't want to see as a hunter. Mage was able to play a couple of minions, they stay on board, and right now Amaz can play whatever he wants. Like, he has 3 great 4-mana minions.
Yeah,
which one is the best in this spot?
You know, I kind of like the piloted Shredder here. You know, I mean, you have the same damage as a Yeti would provide. It's going to stick around a little bit more. And I feel like you kind of want to save that Goblin Blast Mage for, you know, getting some damage onto possibly an enemy minion, keeping control of the board. Sound reasonable?
You're absolutely right. The thing that makes piloted Shredder better than the Yeti is because it's less vulnerable to something like a Hunter's Mark. And the Goblin Blast Mage definitely needs to wait for a board that just generates, just provides him with the most potential value.
Oh wow, there's the Seagull Hornbow, but it's too late. The Snow Chugger is something that was not killed.
Yeah.
Freezing Nalguidan.
He's frozen
also
possibly forever.
This turn is so awkward with regards to mana curve. You can Unleash, get 4 dogs. Do you? I think you have to Unleash, like.
I mean, yeah, you could clear a bit of the board. I mean, you can take out the Annoyatron, you could take out the Clockwork Gnome. Kill command on the Snow Chugger might not be a bad idea, though. I mean, you need to free yourself up to use that weapon sometime, you know, so why not now, I guess?
Double Blast Mage now for Amaz. That is going to be some insane plays.
Yeah.
Also, Nalguidan is already at 21. Like, after this turn, he will be in his teens.
True enough. I feel like you just use the Blast Mage here, don't you? Maybe not.
Yeah, you want to see what's happening, and now you can definitely use the Blast Mage.
Mad Bomber, all right, making an appearance.
First Blast Mage is going to hit, and it misses the dude, but it's a lot of damage to face, which is good for Amaz as well. He can actually buff the Annoyatron and kill it still.
I was going to say, yeah, I wonder if with this one you could still trade up into that 3-2 despite the fact that you want to save those for Antonidas. You generally only need like 1 spare part, right? So you can afford to use them at this point, can't you?
I think at this point you don't even care about Antonidas. You're in such a good position, you just go for just buff it. You can trade obviously to protect your for free just in case. But then the situation is great for Amaz.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it was not necessary to kill this Mad Bomber, actually. Could have just dealt 2 more damage to the face, but I guess Amaz just wanted to make Unleash the Hounds worse. So
you could even freeze it. Because if you freeze it, if there's nothing to deal with your minions, even this Eagle Hornbow is too late right now. Nalguidan is too low on health.
Yeah, you can't run your weapon into any minions and take that damage at this point. Guess you're going to silence the piloted Shredder.
And kill command.
Yep, you can that kill command on the Goblin Blast Mage. So a little bit of board control, but again, I mean, using those kill commands, both of them now, on minions, the win conditions for Hunter are pretty much gone at this point.
Yeah, Amaz is definitely happy about this outcome.
Yeah.
And that second Goblin Blast Mage will just punish so hard.
Yeah, yes it will.
Going to hit the owl, yes, the first hit hits, and then Amaz can develop the Meg Warper. Just play the Meg Warper, get 3 minions, set up for lethal next turn. Is there any way for Nalguidan to not die?
Not with an abusive Sergeant, I don't think. I mean, no, he's got no way to block. Unleash, I suppose you could kill the Mech Warper. Would that even be enough?
No.
No, with double Unleash, you're dead as well. So Amaz is going to take this game.
Yeah, I guess so. Just double checking right now, making sure Nalguidan just throws the hero power. He's like, there, at least I did a little bit of damage to him. There's the Antonitis. I dealt
2 damage the whole game as Hunter.
That's right.
That's heartbreaking.
Wow, I haven't seen that in a long time.
First blood.
Man, first blood. Last turn for Nalguidan. Amaz jumps out to a 2-1 lead now. And Nalguidan not looking too happy after that one. But again, you know, when you have these matches like this, when you're fighting for that board control early and you get the type of start that Amaz did on that Mech Mage, there's just no coming back from it.
Well, yeah, there was a way to come back, but Nalguidan, honestly, he just threw it away because he didn't want to keep that Knife Juggler in his hand for the potential blowout turn with Juggler and Unleash.
That's a good point, yeah. That would have maybe been a way to bring it back again. So that means Amaz 1 win away from reaching the grand finals here. Nalguidan 1 win away from being eliminated from the ESL Legendary Series. So it's definitely do or die time for him. He took out Life Coach. He said that was his objective. It's becoming a little bit more difficult to take out Amaz. He's still got a chance though, guys, so do not go anywhere. We will be right back with more ESL Legendary Series. We'll see if Amaz makes the finals or if Nalguidan stays alive right after this. Don't miss it. We are back at the ESL Legendary Series finals here at IM Katowice. Amaz 1 win away from making the finals against Orange. Nalguidan fighting for his life in the tournament. He needs to come back, win 2 games. Although, you know, looking at these deck lists, maybe that won't be as hard as it seems. Amaz only with that Warrior remaining. Nalguidan, meanwhile, has the Hunter. He's got the Paladin. Those are pretty good matchups against Warrior, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And Amaz is also running kind of like a more control-based version with double BGH.
Right.
So if Nalguidan you know, has normal hands, he should be able to get around 70% win rate. Paladin is good versus Warrior. You just go there, you just create dudes, just wait, and then wait for the first brawl. And after that, you just spawn the board with dudes and you buff them with Quartermaster. Or with Hunter, if you get the early tempo advantage, you then slam those high mains, and if there is no way to deal with them, you just lose the game. Even though I still give an edge to Amaz, he has 2 chances to win against an unfavorable matchup, and it's not like he has 100% to lose. Still, 30%, even 40% is a good percentage to win the whole match.
Yeah, it's not bad. And again, with 2 chances to do it, it could really go either way. But that would be quite the comeback for Nalguidan to be able to come back and win this match. And we did see him maybe, you know, looking a little bit flustered last game, you know, using that Knife Juggler a little bit early. So perhaps a bit cleaner play from him might help as well. It will be, of course, a Warrior from Amaz versus the Paladin for Nalguidan, and at this point, doesn't really matter which one you throw out here. You got to get a win with one of them, so why not start with the Warrior of Light?
I have a bit of Amaz math for us.
What's that?
So Amaz has 30% to win versus Paladin.
Okay.
He has 30% to win versus Hunter. So overall, he has 60% to win the match.
Right, exactly. That's
easy.
That's perfect math, I'm pretty sure.
Isn't it like 50% every time?
Well,
either
he
you
hits
win
it or he doesn't, right?
It's true. Either he'll win or he won't.
Exactly.
Yep, 50-50, yeah.
Yeah, 50-50 every time.
Not bad. Well,
all right.
It could be the last one. It could be the final game of the semifinals. Or we could see a few more. We'll see. Here we go. Opening hands for both players. Amaz on that Warrior. Nalguidan on the Paladin.
So, as a Paladin, the most safe way is to just try to bait this brawl and play early minions. Not really rush it, just do it up as much as possible, draw the cards, and then when Warrior is, like, get to the end game, and Warrior is, removal is exhausted, you just play those Masters, buff them with Quartermasters, and you win like that. You can also get aggressive. If you get a hand with Zombie Chow, Sheila Mini Bots, Knife Juggler, Master for Battle, Coin, you maybe can even steal the game earlier if you coin Quartermaster into unanswered Master for Battle. But then, as a Warrior, you also have a lot of chances to win. You can get aggressive, you can get through Paladin's defenses, clear the Master for Battle if used, just without anything else.
Well, there's a coin, there is a Muster for Battle, and there is a Quartermaster for Nalguidan.
Oh boy, this can get really ugly really fast for Amaz.
He may have a good chance here. Amaz armoring up, of course, but Nalguidan, the hurt is going to come. It's going to start right now. I think we're going to see possibly the Knife Juggler.
No way to answer this Knife Juggler for Amaz, but on the other hand, there's Acolyte of Pain. That actually doesn't matter because Acolyte is going to get attacked by the Juggler. Wow.
Right.
This looks really bad if Amaz doesn't draw a Whirlwind.
Well, Amaz has to play that Acolyte of Pain. You know, no big surprise there. But you're right, with that Muster for Battle, it looks like Nalguidan can attack in first to make sure that those knives hit Amaz in the face. Don't give him any extra draws, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
That's the dream opening for the Paladin.
Yeah, no kidding. There's a Muster for Battle. Amaz is going to be a little bit worried at this point.
It's 4 damage, 3 mana, and you play, you get 3 dudes and a weapon. 3 dudes!
Yeah, and you're not done yet, because next turn you can just coin out that Quartermaster and get three dudes.
2 arms men.
That's right.
So the dudes, they have 2 arms now.
Arms men.
How many arms did they have before?
I have no idea.
They're just bigger now. Well, there goes the Knife Juggler. And now, unfortunately, the Knife Juggler wasn't the real danger here. There's the coin. Here comes the Quartermaster.
This is a nightmare situation for Amaz and a best situation for Nalguidan.
Oh boy. Well, that is a lot of big dudes. They're not just regular dudes anymore.
Those are the big boys now. And this is definitely a very devastating board for Nalguidan.
There is this Whirlwind.
Whirlwind, 1 turn too late, unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
The Sludge Belcher will provide some sort of defense to stand against those 3/3s, but it's just a temporary solution.
But then again, there's the true silver champion that can deal with this Sludge Belcher with weapon attacks. So Nalguidan is still going to deal a lot of damage and maintain board presence.
It's certainly looking like that. So how is Nalguidan going to proceed here?
You can also play Belcher yourself. Like just clear it, attack with one of the minions, and play Sludge Belcher.
True. True.
Just make the maximum use out of the weapon that you still have, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, also True Silver Champion is kind of like a hidden burst. You don't want to use it, well, Paladin doesn't have burst overall, and you probably don't want to use it versus minions because it is 8 points of damage in the course of 2 turns.
Yeah, it's almost a Pyroblast.
Right, for 4 mana, I like it. I need to play more Paladin.
Harrison Jones as well now for Amaz. It's not very tempting to use that on the 1 durability weapon left for Nalguidan, so I think that's going to get saved. Yep, here's the Armor Smith. And armoring up, yeah,
double
just working on getting rid of the dudes.
Wow. Yeah, but Amaz is down to 4 cards.
That's gotta feel terrible having to use shield slams on Silverhand recruits as well.
Gotta kill the dudes.
Yep, gotta deal with the dudes somehow.
Amaz just trying to weather the storm. He has a good amount of late game with the Dr. Boom and the Alexstrasza in hand. However, we see the Paladin's hand, and it's stacked with a lot of late game with the Leo in hand especially. And just eventually the steady flow of 1/1s that the Paladin can put out with the hero power will just overwhelm the warrior. He only has this many whirlwind effects. He cannot hold on to it against this board forever.
We might actually see an execute on a dude. How sick is that?
I think we might. I've never seen a dude get executed before. That sentence that should not be said as cheerfully as I just did, but it makes more sense in this game. There's Dr. Boom.
Sure. Oh man. Attack.
He needs 1 more.
How much damage is it from Nalguidan? This is a 6, 10, 11, 15.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
Could be. That's nearly the end, but you know, it's dangerous to establish a board anymore because you know the Brawl's probably in there, so you don't really want to go beyond this creature-wise, I guess.
I like going for face here. It's not an Alexstrasza turn, and you know you still have that weapon.
Yeah.
So if there is a Brawl, you know you have the weapon. If there is a Harrison Jones, you know you have the board.
Exactly.
Whatever happens. Still 2 Death Rattle minions spawning after a potential Brawl.
All right, there's no Brawl, so Amaz is in a dire situation right now.
Yeah, I mean, what do? Do you Whirlwind first to try to cut down a little bit of stuff to try to maybe see if your bombs can take up more of their board? I think that's kind of a decent start.
I think you probably want to attack with the bombs to deal at least 1 damage.
No, I suppose it's true.
Maybe just attack into this. Oh, he's actually going to Whirlwind there. But still, if he armors up, he needs to clear the board. Like, if he doesn't armor up, he's dead to the weapon attack.
Yeah, he can actually kill the weapon though with the Harrison Jones.
That's true.
Yeah, that's actually correct. An armor up himself, so he will be at 5.
Ooh, that piloted shredder, though, it lives. Only took 1 damage from that boombot. Here comes Harrison.
Oh boy.
With the armor.
With this, the Paladin is 1 damage of lethal right now, so 1 juggle will be enough to close the series, to close not the series, the game.
Yep, the game.
Oh, a Cockhammer is exactly what Nalguidan needed.
Yep, there's a weapon, and that combined with the piloted shredder is more than enough damage to take down Amaz. So it looks like Nalguidan going to bring things back, tie it up 2-2. We are going to Game 5 in our second semifinal match here at the ESL Legendary Series.
Wow, what a tie. And Amaz with this Warrior, can he win with Warrior? At least once, he needs just 1 win to advance into the finals. He had a Priest and Chifinity, he wasn't able to win with the Priest. Now he won with the Priest, but he has this Warrior being countered. Warrior versus Hunter will be the next match.
Yeah, and we talked about it too. I mean, Warrior a little bit unfavored versus both Paladin and Hunter. We saw him go down to the Paladin already. It's Warrior versus Hunter. When we come back, guys, game number 5 between Amaz and Nalguidan. The winner moves on to face Orange in the finals. The loser goes home. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back for a very exciting game here at the ESL Legendary Series in just a bit. And we're back, guys, at the ESL Legendary Series, and we are going to Game 5 between Amaz and Nalguidan. They are tied up 2-2. The winner moves on to the finals. The loser is done. They're out of the tournament. And how about that, man? I mean, we've been seeing so many of these players qualify, come in here, take out so many well-known pros. Is Amaz going to be the next victim?
Well, I'm still rooting for Amaz, but he is definitely in a troubled situation. Warrior versus Hunter, I wouldn't want to put my tournament life in that exact game. But Amaz is a very experienced player. He is the IM Shenzhen champion. He won many tournaments. He's been in this situation before. So he's definitely not going to break down. He's going to bring his A game.
I agree. What do you think, Kikup?
I'm really excited to see this final game unfold before us. We've seen, for example, a five-game series is always the most exciting to watch, especially in that Game 5 where it's all on the line. And we saw, for example, my favorite moment was when Orange played versus RDU in that Hunter Mirror matchup, where it all came down to that final Ragnaros. And man, the emotions were flying high, and I hope to see the same right now.
There's been some crazy results already today, some crazy card draws, some crazy Ragnaros hits, and here we go. It all comes down to this. Amaz's Warrior versus the Hunter for Nalguidan, and again, a tough matchup sometimes for that Warrior. Amaz, this deck is not really designed to go up against what he's about to face.
Yeah, unless he gets lucky a bit with Leox from Nalguidan. Basically, this matchup is all about can you answer the high mains, and is Hunter going to play those high mains on those key turns? If Hunter is curve, playing Animal Companions, using the hero power, getting that Savannah high main on empty board, and we already can see one Savannah high main for Nalguidan in his opening hand. If he has that, that would be a very difficult matchup for Amaz. How can Amaz win with Warrior? What is important, Ika?
The most important cards is basically the cards that let you stay ahead on the board. Armorsmith is obviously an important one if you can buff it as well with Taskmaster, or weapons obviously are also very important to have. Some mid-range Hunter plays Sludge Belcher, and the Deathbite is going to be very important in that regard as well. Killing first of all an Emerald Companion, then like a Sludge Belcher or a Lothap, or even a high main. The Deathbite is going to be a very important card, and Amaz does have it.
Absolutely, and there's that Mad Scientist already for Nalguidan.
Well, looking at the head of Nalguidan, I don't really like it. He doesn't have a turn 3 play. He will have to get something. The Mad Scientist is getting killed, so Freezing Trap is getting spawned. He can't even replay the Freezing Trap. Not that Freezing Trap is important in this matchup. It's actually not that important. For now, at least, with no minions being played.
Yeah.
Fortunately for him, he has that Pilot Shredder on turn 4, a 5-turn Lothab, and Dr. Boom as well, if I see correctly.
I believe that's a Piloted Shredder. Yep.
Yeah, the Dr. Boom.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
The Big Game Hunter, the double Big Game Hunters in Amaz's deck might actually become in handy here. We see Dr. Boom in Nalguidan's hand already.
Well, there's BrawL.
And also you can kill a buffed high main with the Big Game Hunter as well, if it gets buffed by a Houndmaster, or if it gets buffed by Leok, or if it gets buffed by a Taskmaster.
Right. A lot of options in that case.
Basically, Big Game Hunters are not dead cards, but they can be dead cards if drawn in an awkward spot. Also, not really comboing with Geddon. But on the other hand, Geddon is good for the Hyenas. So if Amaz is able to establish some kind of board, then trade with the high main, Geddon can kill the Hyenas and put him in a good spot.
All right, Piloted Shredder on curve, turn 4. Going back to Amaz now, and there's an Execute, something that could be powerful later on for taking down a high main.
For now, it doesn't look that bad for Amaz. He has the removal card, so if the high main drops or if something big is being played, he will have an option. Oh, wow.
Exploding Sheep, okay.
He might be happy about it. Like, he is triggering the Freezing Trap right now, and he will be able... Well, how do you trigger this?
You just don't. It actually hurts the Hunter player more right now than it would hurt you. So you're happy to leave this sheep on the board and just wait until your opponent plays more minions so we can deal with them properly.
Well, yeah, that sheep does 2 damage to everything. So the board Hunter's trying to establish is pretty threatened by it.
I think I've seen Amaz smile a bit sheepishly.
Sheepishly? A bit mechanically, perhaps, too?
Possibly. A mechanical sheepish smile.
I think that's exactly what we saw. Pretty sure. All right, so both charges on Death Spite remaining yet, so he can't do any sort of fancy Death Rattle tricks with this weapon. You know, honestly, he could actually just equip the second one and do that if he's feeling truly crazy.
I don't think it's worth wasting it. On the other hand, this is a really weird turn.
It is a weird turn, isn't it?
Yeah, the low tap is kind of a really big, threw like a wrench into the machine of Amaz right now, because the best play probably would be attacking that sheep and then executing that minion that he just played, but low tap prevents that because, 5 mana is not 6 mana, obviously.
Yeah.
So right now, what Amaz can do is, I think, he can attack into Lothab. And
then play a second Death Spite, maybe?
Or a Taskmaster.
Yeah,
but then he's... I kind of like playing... I don't like any play here, but then you can also play Harrison Jones. Just maybe attack into the sheep.
Would you really play Harrison Jones against a Hunter, though? You know those weapons are coming, and killing that bow is so huge.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you're facing this board, and you want to counter it somehow.
All right, looks like he's going to go with the Death Spite. Not a play we really see very often, if ever, but I think in this particular situation, you kind of are forced to it. But it's not good. It wasn't a good turn either way for Amaz.
Yeah, but on the other hand, there is no high main for Nalguidan here.
Yeah.
Just a Mad Scientist, Freezing Trap, and a Hero Power. On the other hand, the turn 7 will be amazing.
True enough, and here it comes. Turn 6 now for Amaz. And he's got that brand new Death Spite.
Well, so you know you're facing a Freezing Trap, and you have to take it into account. Mad Scientist is not a threat. So, well, like killing it won't trigger the trap, it won't summon another one.
Or there could be Snake Trap waiting, right?
I suppose.
Yeah, sometimes people play 2 Freezing Traps and 1 Snake Trap.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, it seems Amaz has those awkward turns where he has to defend himself as well. He's at 16 already.
Well, there's the Acolyte of Pain. I suppose you attack once as well, too. Get that Death Spite ready to use that Death Rattle. And, of course, 4 damage on the Hunter is damage that is not going to be healed, so every little bit helps.
And we see right now there is no Snake Trap in Nalguidan's deck. Because the Mad Scientist did not fetch a secret out of the deck.
Yep.
Dr. Boom is going to be huge. And then Eagle Hornbow is also great for Nalguidan because he will be able to push with damage. If Amaz plays some minions, then maybe Nalguidan will be able to clear... win the game on turn 8. He decides not to play Dr. Boom.
I don't think that instead. And the question is, will he attack with this bow? Because if he doesn't, that's going to be a pretty big Harrison turn for Amaz. He's going to attack once. Either way, I think we're going to see Amaz get rid of this weapon.
It's still giving an Amaz a window of opportunity to get a card and maybe stabilize. This board is not representing anything right now for Nalguidan. Just now, is actually going to die.
Yeah, this was a really odd play. I know, Nalguidan probably expected the Death Spite, especially to clear Dr. Boom very effectively. But still, Dr. Boom is just such a big threat not to play him on turn 7. I don't know if that's correct.
Maybe a little bit playing overly safe for Nalguidan.
Well, I think right now you definitely play Dr. Boom. There is a Freezing Trap set up. And you know what's really awkward? Amaz didn't draw a Big Game Hunter. He needs that Big Game Hunter. 1 of 2. He doesn't get it. 2 Big Game Hunters in your deck. You stare at Dr. Boom and you don't get them.
Yeah, Acolyte of Pain, the draw for Amaz instead.
He can still execute this Dr. Boom if he wants to.
True. Just wants to try to put the damage on. He's going for it. There is the freezing trap, though. Oh, man. Amaz in a lot of trouble here. He's got the Shield Maiden. And the Cruel Taskmaster can take out one of those, or can take out Dr. Boom with the Execute.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure if it was really necessary to attack with the Terrasen into the trap. There, first of all, there might have been a better minion to attack into the trap with, and
well, it wasn't like the trap was going anywhere.
Oh, wow. That Pilot Shredder on curve with Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, that is a huge play for Nalguidan, and man, this is starting to look like it might be a bit of an overcomable or unovercomable board. There is a Brawl in Amaz's hand, though, and there's going to be damage coming in from the Doombots, but I think we're going to see him have to go for it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is, even though Nalguidan has 4 Defrauda minions, there is the BGH 1 turn too late.
And there's that big game hunter as well.
If you Brawl, what happens? Amaz has to really think about it. He spends 5 mana. He has potential 5 more with the coin.
Yep, drawing first with that Acolyte of Pain.
Pretty sure you want to execute first.
There's a Sludge Belcher as well. If he Sludge Belchers, though, he can't Brawl, so I think Brawl's still going to be it.
Something like Whirlwind would be amazing.
Yeah. No more draws, though, not this turn.
Yeah, so if you execute the Sludge Belcher, you then Brawl, something will survive. What would you hope? Like, your 2/2 will survive. That's your hope, right?
I mean, the piloted Shredder, who knows what's coming out of that as well, too. Because even if even if the piloted Shredder goes, you still get whatever comes out of it with the Death Rattle. The damage is still coming from the Boombots. I mean, it's just not good either way. Looks like it's going to be a couple more cards from Amaz, just trying to build up a little bit of a board.
Oh, this is actually really devastating for Amaz, because now Unleash will punish him that much more. Instead of armoring up, he chose to play the Big Game Hunter in this situation, which will give Nalguidan effectively 2 more dogs with double Unleash.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Nalguidan has to figure out, like, how do you attack, because his board is almost full.
Okay, he's going to go in with the piloted Shredder. What does he get? Lorewalker Cho. That's a bit crazy.
That now he definitely does not want to play the second Unleash unless the Lorewalker Show.
Think so, yeah.
Wow, that is so weird.
Does that actually change things?
That might have just completely turned the game around. But keep in mind, Amaz's spells also get copied and put into Nalguidan's hand.
True.
However, I doubt that the warrior spells are as useful for the hunter as the hunter spells are useful for the warrior.
Brawl really isn't going to do any good for Nalguidan, but in general, I think you're right.
Well, I guess you don't play the Unleash the Hounds now.
Yeah, I guess so. Yep. You just clear. Okay, there we go. Wow, Lorewalker Cho. Scumbag Lorewalker Cho coming out at the wrong time for Nalguidan.
For example, Hunter cannot do anything with it, and Brawl definitely also another card that wants to be played by the Hunter.
Yeah, but what do you Shield Slam, really? Like, pick one. What do you Shield Slam?
Lorewalker Cho. No, probably don't want to do that.
Shield Slam the dog?
You could. You don't want to. I mean, you don't want to do the Haunted Creeper. It gives you 2 more damage. Although you could make the argument that you want to remove the beast. You want Kill Command to do less, but.
Well, on the other hand, Amaz is super low, but then he has the Shield Maiden. So it seems like he's stabilized. The only card in Nalguidan's hand is Unleash the Hounds, which is not that great.
Yeah.
Still does a Rocket Show. So normally, Nalguidan ran out of steam, and this is the point where Amaz can take the game.
I think so.
Yeah, there was actually the option to just play the Grommash in this situation, but Amaz chose to take the really, really safe route and just goes for a Shield Maiden and generates a bunch of armor.
All right, well, Sludge Belcher, that's going to make the game last a little bit longer. It's still a decent amount of damage, 4 coming in from Nalguidan. So Amaz not out of the woods just yet. There's the Armor Smith, some more potential to gain some more effective life.
Yeah, it actually looks more and more like Amaz is going to win this one. He's he stabilized with the board. There's like no gas remaining in Nalguidan's hand, and like Amaz just has a full grip of late game cards.
I like Grommash here, killing the 1/2, getting an armor. Buffing itself.
This is actually insane. Is Amaz actually going to come back and do this? Wow, Eaglehorn Bow, okay. Nalguidan kind of thinking.
No way to clear this.
Yep, let's look at the damage.
5
that's
plus
8.
3, well, 8. You can clear it, but then you take 10 to face.
Yep, that's right.
And you give Unleash the Hounds to your opponent.
Yeah, you just have to pretty much go full face here, but the Armor Smith will just basically seal the deal because it will just generate way too much armor.
Yeah, wow, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I think this 60% that Amaz is going to win.
I think the Amaz math worked. Yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty good about this. All right, well, delivering more damage to face probably from these two beasts.
What can Nalguidan top deck? Like, Nalguidan is not dead next turn.
Kill commands, I suppose, would be the most useful thing, wouldn't it? Or a King Crush, but I don't think we're going to see that.
Yeah, we're not going to see King Crush.
Yeah.
Not giving this Unleash the Hounds. Getting Amaz to 8 points of health.
Oh, man. All right, so if the beasts survive and Amaz doesn't gain any armor, of course you want... Oh, and there's Alex Straza.
Amaz. That's it. Amaz is going to...
That is it. He's going to the finals. Down to 15 health. Gromash rushes in, and 5 more from the Shield Maiden will do it. Amaz takes the series 3-2. An unbelievable turnaround, but we have got a great finals coming now. Amaz versus Orange. It's going to be sick.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, that was beautifully played by Amaz. Perfect game. He was against the odds. A very difficult matchup. He was able to turn around. He was so close to dying, but he was patient, and he won.
I can't believe it. What an absolutely crazy match. What a bunch of crazy matches in general we've seen today. It's only going to get better from here. We have just the finals remaining, guys. When we come back, we'll have an interview with Amaz, see how he feels after that win. I'd imagine it's going to be pretty good, but we'll take a quick break. Until then, guys, we'll be back with the ESL Legendary Series right after this. And welcome back, guys, to the ESL Legendary Series, sponsored by HP and Intel. I'm Doa. With me are Nimsh and Ekop. And again, welcome back to the desk again for a winner's interview. It is Amaz. You're back again, man. How'd that last match feel? That really came down to the wire. How did you feel when you saw that Lore Walker choke him out?
I was confused for a second. Like, I was just so in the zone. I thought it was bad for me for a second. I was like, oh no. I can't use Shield Slam or Execute. Oh wait, I can. I was like, that was a breather, but I really wanted to win that series, so I was really happy.
How did you think with the lineup? How did you feel with the lineups? Because we figured out that Warrior is a deck that can lose you the game. Warrior can be your priest from Gfinity.
Oh man, like, I picked Warrior because I knew he was gonna play Rogue first. I mean, you know, I just feel like...
How did you know?
Well, he did that too, like previous series, and I was like, oh, he's probably not gonna change. And then that ended up losing, which was quite sad. And then, of course, the Paladin was, I just couldn't do anything in a sense. So I needed to win that Warrior versus Hunter, and yeah, I was just really stressed out. Yeah.
How did you feel the matchup was? Like, you thought he has an advantage in the...
Oh, you mean the whole matchup?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really comfortable with Priest against anything that's not Rogue. So I was overall, like, my strategy was, just get my Warrior out, and then I'm gonna queue Priest, because if I do lose Priest against Rogue, then his Rogue is out, right? So it'll be fine against the other one. So I was very confident until my Warrior lost. And then, it kind of like gone really weird from there. But then at the same time, his Rogue was out as well. So I was very confident picking Priest immediately.
All right, so you're going on to the finals against Orange now. You've seen his other matches today. You've seen the decks he's bringing. What are your chances?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good because I love Priest versus Warrior. I think there's a lot of people who said that it's a Warrior favorite, but I haven't lost. It's like a 99% win rate for me for Priest versus Warrior. I'm not really sure about the mid-range one that Orange is bringing, but I'm very confident.
I don't want to stress you out, but Orange tested with Purple Drank and possibly with Green Sheep. So it's like a free color team going against you. How do you feel about that?
Wow, that was what you were prepared for.
Wow,
oh,
that was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I'm trying to support him. He's my co-caster, you know?
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to help him out.
Yeah, I should be fine.
All right.
I don't know how to respond to that. Really.
All right, that's good.
So which color did you prepare with?
Victory.
Oh, the color of victory.
Oh, man.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for that wonderful interview, Amaz. Let's take a look at our bracket, guys. You know it already. We're going to the finals. Of course, we just saw Amaz take down Nalguidan 3-2, and that means we have Orange versus Amaz in the finals here. Winner takes home $13,000 for first and 100 points towards the Hearthstone World Championships later this year. Very important match, and right after we come back from this break coming up, we will see it, so do not go anywhere, guys. We'll be back with the grand finals of the ESL Legendary Series right after this.